Chomp, chomp, chomp around. Chomp, chomp, chomp around. Hey, it's been a couple weeks. Hey guys, I feel like I'm talking in the microphone. It's Mr. Microphone. Hey guys, Robert Jones back in the kitchen with you, doing a tasting and a cooking. It is almost Christmas time. That means it's hot chocolate season. And let me tell you about my addiction. Yes, I have a problem with collecting things, as we noticed in the tea videos before, and today we're starting down a new adventure called Drinking Chocolates. As you can see here, this collection has been building for a while. In fact, over a year. I have been wanting to make hot chocolate videos for a long time, and just things get in the way, like right now. Working on Amazon and all that. But I wanted to show you guys. So here's what we're going to start out with. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. The first thing we're going to make is a Mexican treat called Champurrado, which is basically a fortified chocolate drink that has some corn flour in it here, which makes it nice and thick. It also has some cinnamon. And we are going to be starting out using this chocolate here. This is the Oaxacan chocolate. You guys can see that. They're little bars. We'll get to that eventually. So we're going to start out with that. And we're hopefully going to get through all of these in a couple different videos just to start you guys out for the holiday season. So we're going to start with chopping up some sugar and getting the matzo ready and the chocolate and boiling up some water and getting the nice cinnamon flavor. So, and then we'll be using this nice wooden tool to make it all come together in the traditional Mexican style. All right, we're in the brown sugar zone. Brown sugar cone. Get a couple of these. Want this the same? Same. A couple of these. Ba-dum-ba-dum. Oranges are cheap, so I'm going to get a couple of those. Just a couple, maybe three. Three beautiful oranges. I'm a sucker for salsas. Look at all these beautiful salsas. Here's the names. Okay, found the cinnamon sticks. Trying to find a price. Don't see a price. Maybe this is the price. A little pricey. Alright, in the bag. Oh. Okay, so looking at the hot chocolates here, they've got instant kind, they've got the casero, they got the Ibarra, the Montezuma, the Abuelita is on super sale. I have some Abuelita again. I've never tried this kind, and I've never tried the Ibarra, and I've never tried this kind. So I think I'm going to try this one and the Ibarra. Alright, and I am curious about the instant. Alright, and lastly, I need some milk. So we got the, well, it's got an extra label on it. That's kind of weird. So I got this one, and I'm going to get one of these for sweetening. This is somebody taking pride. Look at, everything is so nice and neat. Again, somebody taking pride in their fish counter. Looks beautiful. And we're back. And today we're making Champurrado. Or as I keep wanting to say in my head, chomp, chomp, Champurrado. Chomp, chomp, jump around, chomp, chomp, Champurrado. Okay, guys. So, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we are making a Mexican specialty. It's a hot chocolate, but it has a corn flour in it, also known as matza. If you've had a tortilla or if you've had a tamale, then you know what matza is. It's the corn goodness around the outside. Mexico is famous for its corn products and also for chocolate. So this is a traditional chocolate drink. It's kind of a pudding almost, so it's kind of both. But anyway, let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make it, and I've actually got one done so you can see it. So check it out. It is a thick, hot chocolate here in my fabulous Christmas mug. Let me show you how to make this. So we're starting out with two different products here. This is the chocolate and this is sugar. So this is a cone of sugar. So the sugar is manufactured and then it's put into a cone like this and it dries and solidifies. It's basically a brown sugar Polocillo, I believe is how it's called. It's a natural product, and we're going to use about half of that. We're going to make about a quarter cup. We're going to crush it up, and then we're going to chop up our chocolate. We're going to use about 3.5 ounces of that. So we can set that one aside for now, and we want to chop up. So I'm estimating that if we look at this, we can probably figure about this much of the sugar here. Now, you may be wondering, why am I using this cleaver, or as Raccoon calls it, the China knife? I don't want to dull my other blades because this sugar and chocolate are really hard. This is a super cheap blade. These are like $5 at the store. So just going to use this and cut around this. Let's see, maybe I just whack it. There we go. And then break it off. Chop it up. So there you go. You can see brown sugar. Just got this the other day at the Mexican market. And I'm just gonna, oh, it smells really good, like a really rich brown sugar. So let's see if there we go. Yeah, this is working fine. I cut it in half because I don't want to hurt my fingers and it doesn't roll that way. So then I can chop it up here. If you don't have this Mexican kind of brown sugar, you could totally use the American, like C&H or, I don't know, Walmart or whatever you want to use. But this has a nice molasses flavor to it. I really like the molasses flavor that's in it. Molasses is part of the sugar, if you didn't know that. Let's just see if I can crush this a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So that's about a quarter cup. Now, you probably don't have to stir that, you don't have to chop this, but I think it will melt faster. You can see there's a little moisture in the sugar, even though it was wrapped up. Remember, make a mess. No, remember to compact your brown sugar when you're measuring it because it tends to not be, and you can't measure well. All right, so there we go. It's kind of a mess. Okay, so then I weighed out these earlier to see which ones I needed. This is from a little store here in Seaside called the Oaxaqueña, and so I'm kind of excited. I've been waiting to use this, and you can see it's a super rough form of chocolate. They literally melted it, extruded it. What does it tell me on here? Anything interesting? Nope. It's also in Spanish, so I don't do well with Spanish. All right, so I'm just going to chop this up a little bit too, just so this also has sugar in it. Yeah, I'm really happy I'm not using my good knives for that. All right. I do love using the China knife because it can scoop your whole board, clean it. But China knife. Next up we have our matzah, which is ground corn. This is a yellow. I looked for white. They didn't have white at the store I was at. I suppose I could have gotten crazy and kept on looking, but I don't think it really matters. If your grandma did it different, go for it. But anyway, so here we have just plain yellow ground corn. So I'm going to pop this open, and we're going to use a half a cup of this. It's just like polenta, but it should be smaller. I was asking if this was the fine stuff, and the lady told me it was. So we'll see. I've never used this brand. There you go. You guys can see. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put a half a cup in here. Like so. Oh, it smells super corny. That's nice. Okay, and then I've got 3 cups of water, which we're going to use for the total recipe. So I'm just going to use enough of this to make the corn into a paste. It helps, I understand, if you moisten this, and that way when you're putting it into the whole mixture, then it's already rehydrated and you get less lumps. So we'll just give that a little stir. And this is the total volume of water we're going to use, so yeah. Make it as thin as you want. I think I'll make mine just a little bit thinner, just because it'll be easier to put in there. And also, I'm putting in a couple good pinches of salt. As we know, desserts, salt is a flavor enhancer, and I think with having the corn also, it'll enhance the flavor of that as well. Otherwise, it'll be kind of bland. Okay, you can see that's pretty smooth. Got a couple little lumps, but we're gonna let it sit, and as it sits, everything should rehydrate. And then when we put it in the hot water, then we will have a smooth batter. Okay, let's get to making. Okay, you guys, we've got our pot over here. We're using the Instapot today. You don't have to use an Instapot. You can just do this on the stove. But I thought it would be fun, since 2019 is all about the Instapot, to show you how to do it in here. So we've got our Instapot here, and I wanted to show you on the front here, there is a function down here in the bottom left where it says saute. And what that means is it's just going to turn it on. It's just going to heat up, and it lets you do things in the pan that are nice and hot. And you can hear it just turned on. Okay, so to our pot, we're going to add the rest of our water. And we're also going to add a cinnamon stick. I have a nice cinnamon stick here. And we're going to bring this up to a boil for about 10 minutes, just to get all the flavor we can out of there. Okay, so we'll see you in just a few minutes. All right, it's only been a couple minutes. You can probably see that the water is starting to steam and slowly come to a simmer. So now I'm just going to add our sugar. Remember, we chopped this up. It's our 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I'm using the Mexican kind. All right, in order to mix this up, I'm going to use the molanillo. This is the Mexican traditional tool for making the hot chocolate, or the champurrado, as you will. It has these carved rings. It's a pretty cool tool. Pretty old-fashioned. And by the way, I just wanted to show you, I got this and it was $3.69, so super cheap. If you don't have one of these, you can of course just use a regular whisk. I have one here at hand just in case I needed it, but you can do either one. Okay, so you can start to see this is boiling, and so now we just want to melt the sugar. This is great because it has a flat end. You can kind of crush the sugar bits if you want. Maybe you can hear that starting to boil. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. It smells amazing. It smells like Christmas with the cinnamon in there. Okay, we've been boiling for about 10 minutes, and now we have our mix of the matzah and the water here. So I'm just gonna pour this in there real quick. Make sure we get it all. And then we're going to make sure we get that all mixed in. We don't want any lumps. The reason we hydrate it is so that it shouldn't have any lumps once we get it all mixed in. And we're going to bring that back to a simmer for about another 10 minutes to make sure that the corn gets cooked. Here's the great thing about this. You can totally spin it, and eventually we'll use that to get some froth going. I think I'm going to take the cinnamon stick out. I think it's added all the flavor it can. I'll take that out of there. And I saw one little piece. All right, and let's give this a good stir, make sure we get all the lumps out. Okay, and now we've got 1 cup of milk. So this is just whole milk. I'm going to put that in there. This is so easy in the Instapot, you guys. Look at that, it's getting nice and smooth. That's great. Okay, and finally, our last ingredient is the chocolate. There you go. Put that in there. I'm starting to see why the little grandma that I was talking to at the store was recommending the white corn flour. The yellow seems to have a little bit of a weird tinge of almost like a green color to it, but I don't think it's going to affect the taste. But get what you can. Corn is corn. Color shouldn't matter too much to the taste. Okay, almost melted. Stirring this up some more. Now, from my understanding, you're supposed to spin this, and it gets frothy. I'm only making a couple servings here. Gosh, it smells so good, you guys. You can smell the cinnamon we added, but also the chocolate, I think, had a little bit of cinnamon in it as well. Oh, you can really hear it's hot. Chocolate's kind of having a hard time melting. Okay, I think I'm going to turn off the heat and just keep stirring this till I feel like it's all dissolved and it's almost there, and then we'll serve it up. Okay, you guys, you can see it's getting to a pretty nice brown color now that the chocolate is all melted. All right, there you go. Let's serve it up. Okay, you guys, I've been stirring this a little bit, getting it nice and smooth. And I got my magical Christmas mug. We'll tell you about that in a minute. Let's serve up a nice portion of this. Again, I only made a little bit because there's just 2 of us here. I think the crock pot would be a great idea if you were having people come over, because you can simply put the low heat on and leave it and it stays nice and toasty. All right, I think that's a good portion. Ooh, that's huge. Let's see on camera and let's give it a taste. See, it's not hard. Just takes a couple minutes to do, and just have to have the right supplies. And yeah, make this for a lot of people, not just for one. Okay, you guys, so back to our tasting of the Champurrado. First of all, I have to tell you a little story. This is my Christmas mug, and it is celebrating its 20th anniversary today. I'd like to say thank you to my friend Henry up in Washington State. He originally gave me this back in 1999, and it has survived, and it has been an absolute joy of a mug because nobody wants to touch it in the office. I've had 5 different workplaces, and nobody would ever steal my mug except one time, and I was like, what are you doing? Anyway, let's get to tasting our Champurrado. Okay, so since I'm a bearded man, slogging this in my face is a big old mess. So I'm going to use a spoon because, I don't know if you can tell, it is really thick, and it's also really hot. So I'm just going to use a spoon to start out with. Yeah, you can make this thinner. You can make it with using your reusable stainless steel straw. I just didn't want to suck in a whole bunch of hot pudding and be crazy about it. So I'm going to start with a spoon. So I'm excited. It is the moment you've been waiting for. Woo! All right, you guys, let's give this a try. I have never had it before. Obviously, I've never made it before. Oh, that's good. It is not what I was thinking it was. I thought it was going to be like thick Swiss Miss hot chocolate. It is not. It is lightly chocolated, and it is not super sweet. Now, the chocolate has sugar in it, and then we added that 1/4 cup of sugar, and milk has sugar in it. So I thought this was going to be pretty sweet, but I guess all of the corn flour that cooked up absorbed a lot of the sweetness. It's not really sweet. It does have those notes of brown sugar in there. I can definitely taste that, and obviously the cinnamon. So let's give it another taste. Okay, I get it. I understand why this is so popular. This is friggin' delicious. It is like hot pudding. I thought that the corn might be a little bit grainy, but it's not. It's smooth. It cooked out pretty well. Again, I don't want to just suck this down like this because I think it'd be all over my face, but I have to have another taste. Okay. Like I said, I get it. Oh, Champurrado. I could see having this with a pastry would be lovely to dip in here, a churro or something like that. Swirling with a cinnamon stick. I had one here. You could totally just suck on the cinnamon stick and do that. This is lovely. I really enjoyed that. The brand that I used, there are lots of brands out there. It was this one. It says it is the Oaxaca Almendrado. I found this at my local store. I have a lot of other chocolates to try as well, but I just want to show you what that looked like. Okay, so I wanted to show you what this molinillo looked like that I was using while I was stirring. It came in a little paper thing like this. I think it was this way. It was this way, in the paper. And basically, it was $3.69, and it looks like this. It's a milled wooden stick that is used kind of like a whisk. It has a nice flat bottom on them, so you can crush the sugar or you can crush the chocolate, and it helps to do it. And then apparently you can use these little things, and you can spin and make it fluffy, and a whisk worked just fine as well. But this is the traditional weapon of choice. All right, you guys, I'm Robert Challenge. This is Eudaemonius Mark II, and if you couldn't tell, I got my Christmas shirts on. Link is down below in the description if you are interested in the Everyday Santa t-shirts. They come in red and black, and they're in big boy sizes as well, because big boys need clothes too. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're having a Merry Christmas. I'm going to try to get to some more hot chocolate videos coming up. As you can see, we've got a lot to go. It may be after Christmas, but hey, winter is long and cold, so there'll be lots of time to drink hot chocolate. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it a thumbs up, give it all the things you're supposed to do here on YouTube, and I'd love to see you next time. All right, you guys, take care.